it was interesting you were talking about color blindness and like the dangers of it. So it reminded me of like this poem that was talking about like if we were to say like all lives matter in like the 1800s, and basically like it sounded so strange to say like, oh, because I own slaves, like I'm not racist, you know, like it gives examples about like how like racism isn't correlated to color or things like that, like it didn't matter. But hearing it now, like it sounded crazy, but the way that they normalized it, like at the time would have sounded perfectly fine. And it makes you realize like today, how do the things that we say now, that we say like when we don't see color, like what does that do to like a society? And I was thinking about that, like the more that we say like I don't see color or there's not racism, we try to like prove it, it does not only like internalize like the racism that you were talking about and the feeling of not feeling good enough or that it's my personal fault and it's not systemic, it also normalizes it. And I think that the goal for feminism or, you know, equality should be that in future generations that it's not normalized. Like we look at these things that we say are, it's okay, like it's not a big deal, or it's just me, like we look back and we, like say if I were to write a poem, like they're writing about it now and saying like, well, that sounds crazy, you know, like just changing that, like there is a problem and we want to know like, how can we take that, like there's no color, out of it to make it more equal?
Well, one of the things that I often think about is this notion of equity versus equality, right? So one feminist notion has been equality between the genders, right? Now, on one hand, right, and on the other hand, in a racist society, my thought is equality with who? Right? Do I want equality? Is it that I want equality with Mitt Romney? Is it that I want, because as a black woman, if I'm having equality with black men, our society is still oppressing our community, right? So what becomes more useful to think about is equity, right? What is the process? What are the needs and barriers to access, barriers to living a full life? And in what ways do our different identities expose us to different forms of oppression? And then therefore, what solutions, what targeted solutions can we begin to develop that will address inequities within our societies? But universalism won't get us there.
Yeah, even when we say between the genders, that piece about feminism too. It's like, gender is the universe and I'm a star. Then there's not just two. It's a whole complex configuration of possibilities.